Welcome to PardonMyPoppet.com's YouTube channel. Please take a moment and subscribe to this channel in the upper right hand corner of your screen. Throughout this review, you're likely to hear sounds of Poppet in the background. After all, we are a mom vlog, so welcome to our world. I've been given the opportunity to review this Tropical Traditions Gold Label Virgin Coconut Oil. Now, I love coconut oil. I use it in everything from stir fries to baking to body care products, so I thought I'd give you a couple different ways that you can use it today. One is I'm going to use it to turn a natural body powder, a deodorant, into a deodorant cream that you can carry with you much easier than having just a powder with you. Another thing we're going to do with it is we're going to make some almond butter. Another thing that I love to use coconut oil for is for vegan cooking. A lot of vegan recipes call for shortening instead of butter, and I just can't bring myself to use shortening, so, and I'm not vegan, but I really enjoy vegan recipes. So what I do instead is that I substitute in coconut oil for the shortening that the recipe calls for in anything that I bake. So we will do a quick review of this, and I will try to calm Poppet down in the background, and I hope you enjoy this review. So I'll just take a moment and show you what I use for deodorant. If you've been a follower of Pardon My Poppet for a while, you know that I am a big fan of natural body products. I try to keep everything as pure as we can, what we put through our mouth and what we put on our skin. So I make my own deodorant, and it's a powder like this, and it's made up of all sorts of things: clay, crushed up mint leaves, some tea tree oil, some grapefruit essential oil, lots of different things. I'll make sure to post a link to the recipe on this within the next few days. So all I'm going to do to turn this powder, which you can see, I'm just going to do this in a normal bowl. It's very powdery and hard to travel with sometimes. So all I'm going to do to turn that into a cream that's easy to travel with is just add some coconut oil. It's really that simple. Coconut oil is a great moisturizer. You can just rub it right into your skin if you want as well. But most people like to feel like they're using a beauty product rather than a food product, so I know a lot of people change that. So all I'm doing is just mixing in enough coconut oil that this will stick together and I can use it as a cream. This coconut oil has a wonderful scent to it. It really does. A lot of coconut oils you get today, you can't smell anything. So. And all I'm doing is taking a fork, you can see here, and it's starting to come together. And when it comes fully together, all I'm going to do is pack it back into my container, and then I have something I can easily travel with. If you want to use this as a thinner cream, just add more coconut oil. So I finished adding the coconut oil to the natural deodorant, and you can see that it just changes the color slightly, but it makes it a texture that you can carry with you. What you need to remember is that coconut oil is a solid at room temperature, but it depends on the temperature of your room as to how solid it will be. So if you're traveling to a tropical destination, I would still suggest putting this into a Ziploc bag for your travel. But once you get to your destination, it should be perfectly fine. You can see that it doesn't slide around in the container. To use this, all you do is you dip your fingers in it and you rub it in to your underarm. And you can see it leaves behind the specks of the mint, bits of the clay, which will absorb the odor and the bacteria, and it makes a very effective natural deodorant. So the second thing I'm going to do with my Tropical Traditions Virgin Coconut Oil, the Gold Label oil, is I'm going to make almond butter. Now I'm just going to make it on a small scale today because I actually have some in my cupboard and I don't need to have a whole big batch. But I wanted to show you how easy it is. So all I'm going to do is I bought some raw almonds, which is what I use normally. You can soak them if you like, but I tend not to. And I'm just going to fill the small container. Now, normally I would do this on a larger scale in my food processor. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add just a couple grams of salt to this. You can make this unsalted, but I'm a salt girl. I really like it. I like how sea salt tastes in things. Put on my lid, and this is going to be noisy, so we'll see what happens with Poppet when I when I start this, but hopefully she'll just keep watching quietly.
So when you hear that when the motor starts slowing down, you're not hearing it as loud anymore. The big almonds are lightly ground up. So all I've done is gotten it to the consistency of a powder. If I kept grinding this, this would make almond butter on its own. However, I do like using coconut oil in this. I find it's quicker, gives it a more spreading consistency. And it also helps the oil not to separate as much. So I'm going to start with a tablespoonful, and you basically just do this till you get the texture that you like. And I'll probably have to open this a couple more times, so here we go. Okay. Mix it around a little bit more. This is easier if you're going to do it in a small blender like this. I actually find the food processor works better unless I'm going to do a full container. If I was to fill this right up to the top and do it, I find that these single serve smoothie type machines work a lot better when they're stuffed full than when they have space left in them. So I'm going to add another tablespoon and a half by the looks of it. That should be enough. Back on, and here we go. That is all there is to this. I'll show you this beautiful almond butter you get. And again, this will solidify a bit at room temperature. Let me show you here. Fresh, homemade almond butter using the Tropical Traditions Gold Label virgin coconut oil. I'm actually really impressed with this coconut oil. I like the fact that I can see it. Mostly you'll find it sold in darker containers, but I prefer to get my things in glass. I don't trust plastics as much. There's been so many studies on them recently that I prefer to pick up my oils, especially in glass containers, and I just store them in a dark cupboard. I do the same thing with my olive oil as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this review. Take a moment to enter the giveaway and enjoy the Tropical Traditions Gold Label coconut oil for yourself.